o programa Alcaso, deseando uma feliz noite. Tem verdade, vários acontecimentos que estão tomando lugar e acaba para o que está. Onde o mais importante está, pues, o que está é cierre de fronteira entre Venezuela e Aruba, Corsol e Bonaire. E provavelmente o tema que nós quer vai tratar hoje, vai tratar o que está segurança. Aruba tem passado a conhecer, na brandweer, na tanque flip, a conhecer helicóptero que estava estacionado aqui na Ana e qual estava usar efetivamente do corpo policial, hasta segurança, hasta rescue, e helicóptero aqui estava tomando parte na G. Está com o interesse, me quer tur corpo de segurança, está mirando, e mais o governo atual, está mirando a necessidade para pôr helicóptero dia mais arriba país Aruba, que lo possível arriba área de segurança, maneira já nos a conhecer. O programa aqui, sin embargo, vai estar par de noites mais alto, sobre não somente vai tratar de lo que helicóptero por hace, qual está elevar o pensamento de aire, uma opinião pode emitir a base de lo que você mira, pero tecnologia, onde com tecnologia junto com a capacidade para elevar e subir, com as duas por vai servir de diferente plano e ramo importante de nossa sociedade. Para que nós estamos esse programa? Nós estamos com o Business Week de Bloomberg e acaba a sair alarmantemente com pirateria, com contrabando. Está tomando lugar, hoje por hoje, entre Venezuela e Trinidad, que tem apenas 10 milhas de distância. Hopita e vida que a ser perdido, onde que pirata também não somente horta mercancia, pero horta motor, horta placa, ou hasta, de caso aqui, também que generam aqui e para pedir placa a cambio, pues sequestro. Todo o que está indústria de iate de Trinidad aguardo afetar para o que está o fenômeno que está tomando lugar. Agora que esta é uma publicação que sale esse man aqui de Bloomberg. Mas visa 10 milhas só de distância e a nós está de duas islas mais cerca de Venezuela com apenas 15 milhas. Nós por espera desenvolvimento de direção coisa nos precisa, com o cierre de fronteira, contrabando, também hace sua entrada. Ilegalidade, também hace sua entrada, ainda mais. Nós podemos tomar nota de lo que está incidente que toma lugar na Corsol, onde várias pessoas a falecer. Ora, voto a trata de 30 e pico pessoas. E está querendo que mais de 19 pessoas percam a vida. De sucesso aí. Para mim é um prazer para poder entrevistar CEO e dono de Centauros Enterprises, que é uma companhia que está dando serviço precisamente na área de tecnologia e helicóptero. E nós seguimos agora aqui na inglês. For me, it's with great pleasure to introduce Jorge Sikorsky and Eduardo Sikorsky, both of you from Centauros Enterprise.
Yes, correct.
And as we, for the little we have known each other, Jorge, I understand that your lifelong has been involved with aviation.
Yeah.
And mostly with helicopter, which is your business now in Brazil. Before we go to your experience, I wanted to break the ice with Eduardo to give us some information about your company.
Okay.
how it started,
First of all, it's
and
a
how it
great
developed
pleasure.
and what it is today.
First of all, it's a great pleasure to be here in Aruba, to know the island and to know you. And thank you for the invitation for us to clarify some information on technologies. We started, actually my father started a helicopter company many, many years ago, and we've been specializing since then. We started working in mid-70s, start of the 80s on television. So using transmissions, cameras, and high definition after came along. So since 1999, we bought special helicopters directly from the manufacturer, and they are called news helicopters. The news helicopters have very potent cameras and transmitters which can do video and audio. That for the televisions on the breaking news, that's how we started. And after that, we had invitation from the Los Angeles police in California, where my father was invited. I came along. We started to learn a little bit about the police business using the same technology. And that's what they're still using up to today. So
In Brazil.
in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles. Okay.
And after we had this experience with the Los Angeles police, and in my opinion, one of the best polices in the world, we brought this technology to Brazil. And we started training a few of the pilots in Brazil to use this technology. And they have been successful using the cameras as an intelligent part of the police. So they acquire information by the images, by the audios, and by the testimony of the police who are flying, and lifetime the chief of police or whoever's responsible for an operation can take orders or give out orders
make a decision.
and make decisions. That's the important part.
Yes.
Helicopter can be the eyes of the whole decision crew on land.
So that gives it a complete new angle where technology, because we used to have a helicopter here, and I'm sure, and in the times when you started your business, Jorge, it was getting somebody up there with maybe a camera or maybe a binoculars, and that was it.
Yeah, it's true.
That was it.
We
So,
start when we start is
Yes.
just binoculars and looking for something. Now it's different.
correct.
The technology and the crime grow, and the technology came to use with the police department to accurate how they going to make the procedures to stop the crime.
So you virtually, Jorge, you saw the transformation of the helicopter service in Brazil,
It's true.
how it was done, and which you were the main person involved in giving that specific service, and then you witnessed how technology made the big change. And I have to say that I ran a newscast for some time ago, for a couple of years, and I read this news I shared was that the favelas in Brazil, which were very, very dangerous,
It's true.
the crime was high, and how the police, using this type of technology,
They use
have it under control.
Okay, they use this technology for intelligence department. Because remember, we are not in the war. War with the crime. But it's not like a Vietnam war. The police have a gun in the helicopter to shoot the people. No. We're going to see what's happened. We can transmit the image directly for the Department of Police, and the committee talk about the radios for the other police, what they see, and give the instruction, how is the procedures. Then,
And the helicopter is on a safe distance,
oh yes,
monitoring relaying the information.
Sometimes the people don't see the helicopter.
But it's there.
Yeah, they don't see the helicopter. Maybe the helicopter is flying for one side and take the
information.
the information, the cameras is in the back.
It's in the back.
Okay, they need a confusion for
They're not watching us.
No watching.
In the case of the favelas,
Yes.
the biggest problems were the people advising the criminals that the police was entering the favelas.
Okay, right.
So whenever, and they used to be, the favelas are always on hills, high hills. So when the police is downhill, they will shoot fireworks to let the criminals or the gang thieves, if we could call them, that the police are entering. With the helicopter, the police helicopter in Rio, I believe that was in 2013 or 12, they used to stay over 4 kilometers in distance with the zoom in the favelas, and the intelligence part will just go, they're leaving for the south part, Morro de Alemão, in that case. And the people from the ground, the policemen from the ground, they will just go over the mountain, over the hill.
And being
get them
instructed
and they just met them by surprise.
Wow, yeah.
So that's how the intelligence, military and police from Brazil could get rid of most of the criminals from those hills, but they just moved to another one. So
Right.
it's a continuous job to keep fighting crimes in Brazil.
So we can say that in this case, the helicopter, of course, have the capacity to elevate the technology.
Yes.
And here, the technology with this technology, we are talking about a camera.
It's a camera
But-
and a transmitter.
But still, Eduardo, when we talk about the camera, and most of our viewers, they say, well, I have a camera in my phone. Or I have a Canon with a zoom. What is different about this technology? What makes this technology and this piece of equipment so different than any other system that's available on the market?
First of all,
In the beginning, you said it is sold exclusively for news,
Yeah.
but then the police start adopting it.
yes. Today we have drones.
Right.
For a little while, they're not been on the market for that long, and drones can be sometimes a useful tool, but they are starting to create laws about drone flyings. In the United States, you cannot fly a drone over 100 feet over the highest obstacle, and that is because helicopters fly around 500 feet most of the times. So you cannot have drones over that, so they will have crash.
Right.
Drones keep, if you go to YouTube and search for drone crash, you'll see lots and lots of drone crash because they are not in the aerial laws.
Right.
So they keep creating laws. For you to have a drone searching the island all day long, you will have to close that airspace for a helicopter or an airplane not to go through. Maybe a drone loses control and flies over an airport, just like it happened in Fort Lauderdale with a Beechcraft,
Yes.
and it crashed. What if there was, let's say in Aruba, it crashed in a Boeing full of tourists coming to Aruba? What kind of news would you be giving the next day?
Right.
So,
Or the same day.
or the same
Or the
day,
same day.
breaking news.
Right.
So drones can be a good tool, but you have-
Limited.
they're very limited, and you have to create laws. Worldwide, they are forbidden to fly over 100 or 150 feet, depending on where they are. So for surveillance, drones are not that good. If you're flying 150 feet, any criminal with a medium-sized gun can just put them down because they're close. They will hear the sound.
That's right.
So not always the drone's a good thing to combat, to fight crimes. This technology, as we were speaking a little bit before, helicopters are always shaking. You have two wings turning around all the time. that makes the helicopter shake. The big secret, and it's considered a military secret in the United States, the manufacturer of the camera, they have a gimbal with a camera inside. That gimbal stabilizes the image. If you're with your phone and you zoom in the image, you're already shaking. As much as you can hold it still, you're always shaking your image. This technology, I can go over 2-3 miles with the zoom and it's steady. It's just like you're in a high building filming somebody down there. And that in full HD, full high quality image, if you can get it over a news television or a police department or anyone, they will know details about it. For an example, we've shown you a few images. You probably show the people here. If I am flying, like I did a program in Brazil over sea lions, I'll give the image, probably they're watching right now. I can get as close as you can see the sea lion's eye with a camera. But the sea lion doesn't even hear the helicopter, so he's steady. If he could hear, he will just jump on the water.
Yeah, you would just chase them off.
Chase them off, and it will scare them. That's not good for the environment, for the animals. Another example, if I am flying about 500 feet and there's a car chase, I can look on who's driving the car. I can get his face. I can get the license plate. And I can even see if he's carrying a weapon on his lap or not through the car window. That's a powerful zoom.
Wow, yes indeed. But this is not a normal camera you can buy on Amazon.
No.
I doubt that.
No.
There's a particularity.
Yeah.
This camera, for us to buy this helicopter with this camera, we needed to have a release letter from the Department of Defense of the United States. And we are forbidden to sell this helicopter with this camera to anyone before we get approval from them.
There goes.
Yeah, it's a military technology.
That's correct. We're going to break. Televidentes do programa Alcaso, pues, nós está tratando o tema de capacidade o equipo não sofisticado, hoje por hoje, por duna, em caso aqui num país chiquito, maneira ruba, para nós por três, é segurança que tanto nos quer, tomar lugar back, of guardo restaurar back no nosso país. Nós também está tratando mais arriba tema aqui, arriba diferente outra área, não, que é tecnologia aqui por duna serviço. Esse é mais. Vamos back. Nós seguimos pues com o tema interessante aqui para o que está a companhia Centaurus Enterprises. Centaurus Enterprises que está uma companhia pioneiro. Você diz pioneiro no Brasil, sobre praticamente a companhia aqui está responsável para dar instrução na tour e piloto de polícia de Brasil e nesse caso aqui agora aqui acaba de firmar um contrato também para dar instrução com paciência bula helicóptero e para operar esse tipo de equipo aqui para o que está a polícia militar. Então nós estamos mirando pues nesse caso aqui fundador Jorge Sikorsky que estava assumindo fighter jet pilot para algum ano para a Força Aérea de Brasil. Então depois a decidido de começar com um negócio. And we're going to ask Jorge, now that we break the ice a little bit, Jorge,
Okay.
what got you in starting this helicopter business? You was a fighter jet pilot. You was in the Air Force. And then suddenly, pass us through how you.
I start because when was in the Air Force, there's no helicopter pilot in Brazil. And Brazil need to search what we have in the Amazon. No pilots. Then the people go to the Air Force and invite me and the others to fly out of the military. And I was in the jungle, which search petroleum and the minerals. It's a big, very big job. Nothing happened. We are talking in the year 70. Then we start working with the helicopters, and
You were doing surveying of the land, the geology of the land.
geology and everything.
With
I
dynamite.
can say one case. One day I have a mission to land in the middle of the jungle, someplace. Okay. Remember that that time we doesn't have a GPS.
Wow, yes.
Okay.
You said a lot.
Yeah, we must to fly with watch and the
Compass.
That's all. And I remember, and
Now we can fly with the phone.
That's how I do it today.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
then I was there and I land with geology, and it's a workman. They have a big knife to cut them in the way, and geologists just take some rocks and something to study. When I see the man is not feeling well,
Was
and
feeling sick.
sick, and
Jungle
what's
sick.
happened? And he told me, oh, I have a malaria. So, okay, come on to the helicopter, we're going to return. The geologist say, no, I need to work. You say, stay here because I'm captain. You stay here. I'm going to take this man to return. He think, hey, I'm not going to stay here. Okay, I go with you.
Without a GPS.
Yeah, they say, okay, I go. What's funny is I start the engine, we depart, and this guy, when we depart, the geologist, listen, can you just land in some place? I'm going to take some rocks and I'm going to say that it's okay, my mission. For me, it doesn't matter. I need to take this guy that is
To
sick,
the hospital, right.
go to the
The city.
headquarters.
Yeah.
We have doctors and everything
Yeah.
there. Okay. When I try, I see some little houses in the jungle. Which, hey, there is somebody here. It's funny. When I try to land, is Indians.
Natives.
Yeah, they try to shut me.
Yeah.
Or they, hey, we can go. If I was there, is a luck. If I was there and waiting for geologists, the Indian walk
Would have
in
come.
the jungle,
Right.
we're going to catch us. Then, this is a story about
Anecdotes.
how was my life when we start
flying.
and we doesn't have a technology.
How
So-
many helicopters you have in service now, Jorge?
Now we have 5 helicopters working.
Are you servicing what areas in Brazil?
Then we have in the 2 helicopters in Miami, okay, and we have 3 helicopters in Brazil now.
Okay. Okay. But from Brazil itself, you give service to all the cities in Brazil?
No, we have just one city. It's Curitiba.
Ah, it's
It's
Curitiba.
south of Brazil, and we have there a school.
Curitiba is a
Helicopter.
very rich area, right? In Brazil.
Yes. Is the Curitiba, the south of Brazil. The immigration, when it start Brazil, they came from Europe. Many people from Poland, Russian, Italy, Spanish.
And Holland.
Yeah.
Netherlands.
And Dutch.
Yes,
and Dutch.
Lots of Dutch.
Yeah.
Live in Curitiba.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a Dutch friend in Curitiba. They know this guy is working for a big company, a food company in Brazil.
Very interested, Jorge. I'm sure you have many more stories that you can share. But flying without a GPS alone, I think we cannot cope with that, Eduardo.
No.
Yeah.
We had this. We just had this conversation about 2 days ago. Sailing in
Without a
this-
GPS.
Without a GPS.
Yeah.
So you need a sextant to know where you are and then to locate where you got to go.
At
I
least
say, well, forget it.
you need to know your speed.
That's at
Imagine
least,
not doing, not
not
even
knowing
that.
where you are.
Yeah.
He told me one story that is really short. When I was beginning, he told me his past time stories. He should departure, look for a yellow tree, and fly that way for 50 minutes. And then he'll find another yellow tree and turn left some degrees or right some degrees. Wow. And when he departed, he looked at it. It's all yellow trees, but there was one that popped out in the middle of the jungle. And 50 minutes later, there was another one. So you need to choose when to turn, or else you'll be lost in the jungle.
So,
Yeah, it's true.
I wouldn't do that today.
No, I'm sure of that. Coming back to the technology, Eduardo, we see that not only for security, for police activity, but this technology was invented for news.
Yes.
And when we look at National Geographic, for example, we can see all these car chases taking place, especially in California.
Yes.
And how the bad guys stop the cars, run out of the cars, go into the neighborhood,
Yes.
and then they just being followed by the camera
Yes.
and by the radio.
You don't need many police cars searching him.
No.
You can get only two. While one chases him, the other one
Is waiting
receives
for him.
orders for where he's going.
Yes.
So they just can track him. In California, they have a major problem on the fires that burn out houses.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
all that.
big.
The technology of the images, you remember that famous phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words?
That's right.
Imagine a video, how many words?
Indeed.
So the intelligence of the fireman can check in real time where's the fire going, where it's spreading, and they can decide to send the other helicopter with the bunkers and with water
Yes.
and tell them, erase, put out the fire here, or maybe just wet this other part that's not on fire so it doesn't catch on fire. That's intelligent decisions.
Correct. And this technology gives them the capability for
It's
the decision
same
making.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So we see there's so many areas.
So many.
I mean, I have a list of them here, and that one just came in.
Yes, for now.
So
We haven't thought of that
Yeah,
before.
well, and California has been in the news lately, especially with these
Yes.
big fires going on,
Yes.
many homes being burned,
Mentions.
Yeah.
and well, we know that brings us to the environment.
Yes.
So there's an environment change that is let's say, promoting these fires. There's the climate change that making everything different. And let's say in our case for an island, where can we apply this technology into our environment?
On the environment, I'll speak of what I know. We've been flying in Florida for a few days. In Florida, the researchers, the biologists used to chase the sharks when they go up to procreate or,
Yes.
or to deliver babies. I don't know
To the
how
mating,
to call it.
to
Yes.
the mating area. Yes.
You guys have a beautiful, beautiful reserve here from the north of the island all the way to the south and the east part. What if somebody is taking out wood or taking out cactuses? Or you can just reference an old image with a new image and you know where people are robbing
Yes.
wood, okay? You can know.
Well, in our case, just to fill you in,
Uh-huh.
we just had a case and we had a program where some people were destroying the vegetation.
Exactly.
And the neighbors, all the neighbors came together and they do not want the area to be destroyed.
Nobody wants.
Because
It's nature.
As a small island, before, now we start importing sand and importing stone. But before, you had to mine it.
Right.
So we have many holes all over the island, which were old mines that sand were dug out of them and stone were dug out of them. But all the neighborhoods do not want a mine to be close to them. So they have a close watch on the environment. What are
Sure.
the changes? So with this equipment, with this island so small,
Let me tell you.
you
let
will
me ask
notice it
you,
right away.
What if you have to buy sand from somewhere else? And some people don't have money to do that. They will just take it from the beach. That's how you catch them. With this technology, whenever you're approaching them with a helicopter, they'll just hear it and start taking the sand. They'll just walk a few meters and pretend they're sunbathing. With this technology, with the zoom, you can see them a few miles away and close zoom and see if they're taking sand or not. Okay?
Like we have, for instance, let's say in the tourism industry, we have like sailing. We have the kite surfing.
Yes.
And I've read many times these kite surfers, they fall off, they get tired, it's too hard.
And
by luck,
be swept.
and no, by luck, some guy at land saw him with a binocular and went for him. But the story could have ended different. The story could have ended, we lost someone.
Yes.
We have, many times we have situations where the fishermen go out fishing and then we lose them. They do not return at the appropriate time. So we have the Marine have to come with the plane and do the search. Can this technology offer?
Of course. This technology, remember, you can have a better view as high as you go, okay? For a limit, of course. If you want to search for something in your neighborhood, you should go to the highest apartment building and look down. You'll find a car, you'll find a boat, you'll find a jet ski or a bicycle. It's the same with the helicopter. You'll go up, and if you spot anything, you don't lose the time to
fly
travel
there.
a few
Yes,
miles.
right.
You can just close zoom. Is that a boat? Oh no, that's just a whale.
That's a good point.
Oh, here you go. There's your kite surfer. There's your fisherman, or there's your sinking boat with the life vests. You can identify what spot there is. And another thing on the environment, we saw a few boats parked down the island. Where do they dump their dirt? Is that legal to dump a dirt on your beautiful waters? And who is investigating the boats?
You mean the ships?
The ships or the big boats?
Yes.
They do dump
Yes.
their trash here. What if the current changes and all their dump come right into your beaches with all your tourists? What image would the tourist take home and say about Aruba? So you need to be investigating them all time. And with a zoom, I don't need to go over each boat. And if I'm going there, they'll just stop dumping. With the zoom lenses, you can reach them from far away. They will never figure out you have your eyes on them.
That's right. That's correct.
That's only one of the many possibilities we can have.
Well,
The other one is the garbage in the island. Because some garbage they just throw away in the ocean and have a problem for the fish and everything. Sometimes in the island you go by road, but you know where is the garbage, where the people put the garbage. And this garbage maybe go for some place.
Well, you know, Jorge, we just, last year we had an oil leak there was an oil spill in Trinidad. And residues of the oil came washing
All
up
the
to
way
the
here.
shores. And the military had their planes trying to locate where the oil stain was floating and what direction it was coming. For us to at least know if it's going to hit the beach, to be ready, prepared, to have all the floating barriers to stop it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
there was a
That's
lot of plane
intelligence.
activity there.
we
that's intelligence.
we found one day the people call me, there is a problem in the Porto of Paranaguá. And it's leaking for one ship. The first one, he see that smell bad and is a toxic, but where? With the helicopter, I'm looking and we can, with the
With the
zoom,
zoom.
you can see that brought the toxic from one ship. Now, you know, happen. Maybe it will be happen here in the United States or everywhere. but you can see where is the problem.
And you only have to catch one, no?
Yes,
And it stops.
it's true.
It's
Exactly.
automatic. right?
Exactly.
Because sometimes in the ship they don't know what's
Yeah,
happening.
well, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Until you arrest them, then the other ships know that
Yeah.
Yes.
there's an
You have
eye, you're being watched.
Yes.
Yes.
Eagle eyes.
That's correct. Televidentes po programa Alcaso educándonos mes, nos está educándonos mes arriba lo que es tecnología aqui por brinda Aruba e de caso aqui nós tem preocupação grande com criminalidade. Nós saco nos turistas não opi viaja tawardo atacar horta na beach com esse por vai tomar lugar. Nós temos também, por exemplo, na Corsol, nós saco Corsol, está combinar castan que tem alarma. Uma vez a alarma sale, hopi viaja na Corsol, o helicóptero também bula diretamente na lugar, na casa, que está guarda horta e duna assistência de caso aqui. Quizás ele tem serviço um tique caro, pero me está seguro que tem hopi negócio que por se uso de serviço aqui. Nós trata de ser mais sobre isso, não vai ler. Nós seguimos pues com o tema interessante de lo que um helicóptero, não somente helicóptero, pero tecnologia, equipo sofisticado instalado em helicóptero aqui, lo que por brinda, de caso aqui, para segurança e para o bem-estar da população de Aruba. De break, me estava apontando realmente quanto equipo é por costa. E segundo me vou explicar que o equipo sofisticado de câmara custa mais caro que o helicóptero mesmo. E esse está assim, pues, instrumento assim único, que de caso aqui a companhia Centauros Enterprise para não por vender helicóptero, não tem permisso especial de merca para quem está compra equipo sofisticado. Na Aruba, nós estava tendo sistema de radar que estava dando certo caráter de proteção. Ora que o botonan, que vem de Venezuela, botonan ilegal, por agora mirar via radar, dando à polícia a oportunidade de vai e por interceptar. E botonan, radar agora pagar e a ola de criminalidade que vem depois disso aí, me te querem nos tour, tá testigo disso aqui. Just to explain shortly what I just said to the viewers, Eduardo, we used to have a radar network in place, covering the entire island.
That's good.
It was shut down because of human reason, humanistic reason, but I know that after that, you lost control of your borders. An island, we have the entire shore. Anything can, even driftwood will come to the island and just, so imagine boats with people and boats with guns and boats with contraband. There's so many that can happen. I know that our main industry is tourism.
Yes.
As soon as your industry start becoming insecure for the tourist, where they don't feel the protection or being or the sense of being safe. I don't feel safe on Aruba.
I'll give you an example from not that long ago. In the United States, they had a big financial problem, the bubble from the real estate.
Yes.
It was, I believe, 2009 or 8.
2008, 2009.
And the government of every state and the federal government, they had to cut down expenses. In California, where we're very close, so we have lots of information, they wanted to shut down a few helicopters. They have over 30 helicopters working for the government there, a few for the firemen, fighters, a few for the police, a few for the emergency rescues, and they wanted to shut off lots of them. and lots of police cars and lots of other expenses they had. The population and the police who work on ground, they said, okay, you can shut down anything, but please don't shut down any of the police helicopters. Why? We feel safe with them upstairs. They are watching over us. So we're not going to get ambushed when we're going to a house of a criminal and he has guns in the backyard or something. It makes us feel safe to operate when you know somebody is watching over us.
It's backing you up, right?
It's backing you up. If you have a police helicopter on the island, first of all, the criminals will think twice before doing anything because we're very fast. In a straight line, when you're going over 100 miles, 100 knots, it's very fast to get someplace where the alarm is set off. So the criminals maybe won't have time to run away. The police response after the helicopter arrives is very, very fast, and they have success most of the times. Of course, sometimes the criminals have a little bit more luck than the police, and they'll get away. But if they get away, they feel safe to do it again, and then we'll catch them.
That's right.
Okay? That's how safe people need to be. If
let me give you this scenario.
Okay.
Let's say we have a helicopter that's parked a determined area on the island.
In the center of the island.
Okay.
I know a little bit about the size of the island now.
Let's say we're going to be in the center of the island, and 10 miles away, there's a burglary going on. There's an alarm going on in a business.
Okay.
Would you have people on site all the time? On call?
That depends on the police.
Yes.
The first thing, we've been on the island for too short time. We've been here for 2.5 days only.
Yes.
So we've been researching everything so we can give an option if the police opens that chat with us. And we saw there is no helipads working nighttime outside the airport. We might be wrong, it might be, but we just didn't saw it anywhere. And we didn't see any helipads close to the tourists. So they would watch, they could pass by and see, oh, there's a helicopter here, we're safe here, there are police everywhere. Maybe by the ships, maybe by the north of the island. If we have an alarm and the police is ready to take off with the helicopter, it should be departing in about 2 minutes, and it could reach 10 miles in another 3-4 minutes. So it's very fast. Maybe, let's say, it takes a little while longer, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. That's really fast. How long would it take? And I'm talking 10 miles straight, not going through the roads.
That's correct. Yes.
So if we're going through the roads, it might be 5 miles, 10 for a police car, but 5 for the helicopter. So it's much faster.
That's correct. So what you're explaining that once the citizens, especially Americans, that they know the value of the security that a helicopter can give to the community, just by seeing it is feeling safe.
Yes. What we suggest is, if the police ever gets a helicopter again here in Aruba, put them in plain sight of the tourists, along with maybe a police motorcycle, a police car, so people can feel safe. They will know that in that neighborhood, they're safe, they're protected. And that's the main reason they will come to an island. If they don't feel safe here, there are a few other islands they can choose from. Not as beautiful, maybe, but they will feel safe somewhere else.
You know, it's very interesting. Let's say, for example, Miami. You know, Miami it's highly visited.
Yes.
You know, for business, for tourism, you name it. But I can tell you that most of the time when I go to Miami, I stay in the vicinity of the airport. Why? Because that area has more control.
Yes.
And there is more visibility of the police. Wherever you go, you can see the cars, the police cars
Yes.
parked there, here. And of course, the burglary, it's lower.
Of course.
You have less crime just by seeing the police. Imagine now
The criminal
if we
has-
apply that here for the island.
Yes, the police have lower chances of being successful. So if a criminal, he's not playing the lotto. They know the tourists here don't carry weapons. They know, I don't know how it works with the
They don't,
weapons
they don't,
here,
right.
but population probably don't have weapons. So a minor knife can become a weapon in the hands of a criminal.
That's correct.
So if they are so secure that the population won't react to them, their chance of being successful is high. If you put police on their side, they won't take that risk. Criminals are lazy. They don't want to go through that much work.
Right.
So if the police is doing a good job and protecting the population, the tourists and everything, in a very short while, you'll see crimes deduct in the island very fast and maybe come to a zero.
Maybe there's some question and one of the viewers saying, what about night service? What about, we understand in daytime the camera is very powerful. What about in the night? What about in the ocean? Can it work?
In the ocean, let's be very honest here. In the ocean, not even a boat can see everything.
That's correct.
Okay? So we don't advise a helicopter to go out in the ocean by night when it's all dark. Okay? But you can search the borders of the island, and if there's a boat coming, it's really easy to see the foam, the white water.
Yes.
So you detect the white water, you'll know the track, and then you find the boat.
That's correct.
Okay?
And that can be seen by this camera.
By this camera,
Yeah.
yes. The news helicopters, they're provided with a few options of cameras. Fortunately, we only work with the best one, which is, unfortunately, the cost more, the higher price,
Which for the police use.
the police use, but it's the only camera that you can have a good quality at nighttime.
Correct.
Probably your viewers are watching now the images we gave you by night of the police cars. This is in Miami, we're watching, and you can see details on the image. You can see traffic signs, you can see everything. That's on the city. The helicopter is mostly inland.
Correct.
But if you are watching maybe 1-2 miles out, you can see white water, you can reach them. You can close the zoom without getting the risk of going in water.
That's correct. Yes.
And check if that's a family boat only doing some fishing, or if you can identify them as illegal immigrants bringing guns or drugs or anything into the island.
Well, we know, we've seen that. So we have also, I want to touch base with breaking news.
Yes.
Maybe publicity, we have publicity can be used with a helicopter.
Of course.
Breaking news can be used. Give us some examples. We have 3
Some
minutes
examples.
that we
Let's
can
say
use this.
the police wants to even give the tourist or the population a even safer feeling. Why not give the images to the news? So the news can use the images and say, hey, the police are working, feel safer.
No, even the bad guys say, watch out for
Watch
the police.
out, we are here.
Yeah, that's
you know? So you can use it by publicity. We've seen many, many movies from Aruba. The best ones, they are inland takes or sea takes, but there are no drones fast enough to show the island really quick. There's no zoom. When the drone needs to zoom in, he needs to fly close to something
That's
and then fly away. With this helicopter, you can make a cinema. I know that Steven Spielberg already used in that movie he did in Peru, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
He used the same kind of helicopter to shoot everything. So that's how good the quality of the images are. I'm saying Steven Spielberg because he is good. So I'm a big fan.
Oh, Steven.
And we know that Charlie's Angels used those, and every major movie company in Hollywood use this kind of pictures. Today, they're going a little bit higher with much bigger cameras for 4K, but that's only in movies. Televisions, they don't have that yet, and it's a few years from now.
So for advertising, let's say for work that the government can record or film,
And
later
give
on
the
it can be
information
used.
for the
Yes.
people.
That we're talking only for the government. Now imagine if the departments of government can use this helicopter to make some money. Why not rent the helicopter and make some movies for the hotels so they can do their own publicity?
That's correct.
You'll
Marketing.
You'll be doing marketing, you'll be kind of sponsoring the helicopter for the hotel business, for the casino business, for anyone that deserves.
Indeed. So I can see so many applications for this technology. You just included movies, recent movies that these cameras been used for that. But is there anything you feel that maybe we skipped? Georgia, you think we skipped something in this conversation?
No, it's just Eduardo. No, he works with me all life.
All the time. Yes.
Yeah.
You still do flying?
He
You
knows
do
everything.
flying, Jorge? You still do flying?
No, I stopped
You
to
stopped
fly
flying.
now. Yeah. It's,
The thrill, the thrill of
no,
flying.
no, it's almost time to retire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's
You
a
know, I
pleasure.
have a-
Every time he wants to fly, it's a pleasure to fly with him.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Every time we learn something new.
Yeah.
You mean the experience that
The experience,
he gathers?
just for talking to him while we're flying, you're learning. And most of our students in Brazil, in our flight school in Brazil, they expect to do at least 10 minutes of flight with him when they finish the course, so they can learn a little bit more after the course ends.
They can absorb some of the
In some
information.
details.
Jorge, it was a
Rafael.
pleasure having you.
Rafael, it
Eduardo,
was my
Here in
pleasure.
Aruba.
Thank you very much.
I hope sometime in the future we can see you guys working here on Aruba and
Yeah.
giving support for crime, giving support for publicity for the hotel industry. I think there's so much we can do with this technology, and that was the purpose of the program. So we can educate all of us, me included, got educated on what the capability of this equipment is.
Congratulations on the island.
Yeah.
We just met. My father had been here a few times before. I'm enchanted. I'm looking to coming back right now in the end of February, so I can spend a little more time here.
For vacation.
Learn a little bit. No, actually, I like to research. I like to learn about the island.
Anyway, we are out of time. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Doutor Alcaso, espero de por informado e em verdade que Aruba por adoptar uma tecnologia maneira essa aqui, ou outro similar, que finalmente vai significar mais segurança para o país, mais segurança para a indústria turística e finalmente nos turtas a ganhar que decisões corretas maneira isso aqui. Danke para mira, danke para escuta, invitando para outro programa de Alcaso, de outra oportunidade, de outro viaje, que Deus quer.